What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Wednesday, June 16th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who's your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10. Donovan Mitchell, Danilo Gallinari, Kawhi Leonard, Bogdanovic, and John Collins on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to the power forward spot and we're grabbing Tobias Harris. He's 8,100, projected for 39. The goal is 46.5. He's in the optimal lineup 52% of the time. Now, this is mostly just a play on the fact that power forward doesn't have a lot of bodies. It's the thinnest position, ignoring the fact that you only play one center. You only have basically 4 legitimate options at power forward today. A 5th if you want to play for George Niang. So you get to some of these guys by default more than you get to others because of positional depth. Don't overthink it. Tobias Harris is going to play 36 or more minutes in a competitive game. He's going to put up like 22, 7.5, and 3, and you're probably going to need him a coin flip amount of the time. So, number 5, Tobias Harris. Coming in at number 4, we've got small forward BOJAN Bogdanovic. He's 5,700, projected for 26. The goal is 33. He's in the optimal lineup 53% of the time. Bojan's playing solid minutes with no Mike Conley. Gonna play solid minutes regardless, but 36 today with my assumption that Conley doesn't play. Just north of 0.7 fantasy points per minute, and it's all scoring. 17.5 points, 4 boards, 2.5 assists, maybe a stock. But at 5,700, at small forward, knowing you're going to get roughly 36 minutes in this spot, in a major game, I don't expect the rotation to get bigger for Utah. Bogdanovic is a pretty cheap way to get big minutes. Speaking of cheap, we're going to point guard. We're grabbing $4,800 Reggie Jackson. Projected for 26, the goal is just 28, and he is in the optimal lineup 55% of the time. He's a major part of this rotation now for the Clippers, and they have narrowed that rotation down considerably. I've got him in for 31 minutes, 0.83 fantasy points per minute. Pretty solid, 21% usage. Almost 15 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, maybe a steal. He's just playing a lot, and to get a point guard at a sub 5K price tag where I expect him to be playing north of 30 minutes, I generally expect him to be closing for the Clippers. I'm more than happy to get a 0.8-ish fantasy point per minute guy at a sub 5K price tag. Now at number 2, we're going back to the power forward spot, and we're grabbing Royce O'Neal. He's 5K, projected for 24. The goal's 29.5. He's in the optimal lineup 55% of the time. This is very similar to the Tobias Harris thing. And then you can see John Collins at number 6 as well. These guys are making up basically 3/4 of all of the exposure to your power forwards. So you're going to get to Royce O'Neal a lot by default. You're going to get a lot of Harris. You're going to get a lot of Collins because you don't have any other choices. But Royce O'Neal makes it like he's a little bit of a pay down option. He's playing a ton, 37 minutes. They want him out there for his defense. So you're only getting like 0.65 fantasy points per minute, 8 points, 6.5 boards, 3 assists. You need him to have a little bit of a fluky scoring day, maybe an extra stock or 2. He's projected for 1.5. But either way, it's a 5K price tag for a 36+ minute a game guy. That's one of the few directions you could actually go to pay down at power forward. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. Only place you're going to get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, comment section underneath this video. Favorite contender, least favorite contender, and the guy that you thought should have been on this list that you do not see. And finally, the number 1 contender for today's slate is point guard Jordan Clarkson, and it's not close, which makes me really want Mike Conley to come back. Clarkson's 5,300, projected for 30. The goal is 31. He's in the optimal lineup 66% of the time. I've got Clarkson playing 31 minutes for today, around a fantasy point per minute, 29% usage, so he's going to dominate the ball when he's out there. Probably plays in every minute that Donovan Mitchell isn't on the floor. 19.5 points, 3.5 boards, 3 assists, maybe a stock. Look, here's the problem. Clarkson has been absolutely terrible in this series. -50 through 4 games, which is not very good. But at 5,300 with no Mike Conley, he makes the point guard position look pretty nice. So Jordan Clarkson is my number one contender for today's slate, so long as Mike Conley doesn't play. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Wednesday, June 16th. Process show is in the books. Go watch that. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Strategy show, 10 a.m. with Laffy. You do not want to miss it. Then I'm back for Live Before Lock tonight, 6:30 to 7:30 with Greg Ehrenberg. It's going to be a good time. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will be back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.